What is going on, online fitness coaches? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives Make Money Online Trainer podcast. This is the #1 show for online fitness coaches who are trying to grow a successful online business. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to land your next online fitness client. All right, I'm literally going to give you guys a step-by-step blueprint for how to land your next online fitness client. So in this episode, I'm going to tell you what to post on social media, what kind of picture you need. I'm going to tell you what to post in your story, literally step-by-step, every single step of the way. So I want to read out a rating that I got on the podcast. This one was awesome. It says, I'm not even an online fitness coach. I'm not even a fitness coach. And this podcast is by far the most valuable content I've ever listened to. Never miss a morning. I'm never missing a morning anymore listening to this podcast. So I appreciate that so much. That's freaking awesome. Now, just a reminder, if you're listening to the podcast right now and you want to be entered to win $1,000 cash, we're giving away $1,000 on March 30th. All you have to do is screenshot any episode of the podcast, share it to your Instagram stories, and tag me at BMarkFit. Let me know that you're tuning in, and that is an entry to win. We've given away $1,000 3 times in the last few months. So if you want to be the next person that I send $1,000 USD over PayPal to, then screenshot this episode, share it to your Instagram stories, and tag me at BMarkFit. All right, online coaches. Today we're talking about how to land your next online client. And frankly, a lot of you online coaches right now, I think that everybody wants to sign more clients, but I think the amount of intention that goes into your posts can see an improvement. And frankly, if you don't tune in, you risk staying in the same income level, because my goal is to help you guys progress. But if you're posting content inconsistently and having it not get traction, and you know you want to grow your coaching business, but for some reason when you're posting, it's like not catching the traction that you want, it's going to end up leaving you frustrated, because even though you know you want to grow your coaching business, for some reason, even though you're posting content, you seem to be stuck. Does anybody feel like that out of curiosity? It's like you want to grow your coaching business, so you're posting on social media, but for some reason, you're just not catching traction and you have no idea why you're actually stuck. So today, I'm literally going to give you guys a step-by-step blueprint, a step-by-step framework for landing your next online fitness client. I'm going to tell you guys what to post. I'm going to tell you guys how to structure the post. I'm going to tell you guys how to say it. I'm going to give you the fundamental frameworks necessary to attract clients to work with you. And I'm going to give you a specific call to action designed to get people to reach out to you. Okay. Now let's talk about my online coaching business and my online coaching journey, because for me, I didn't actually start sharing like elements of my personal story, as in like who I am as a person, until about 2016. Before I started my coaching business, you guys, like when I first started online coaching, it was really easy for me to gain online fitness clients. Like pretty much all I would do is I would post a shredded photo of myself or a shredded selfie and or pics about my food. And that's all I would need to do. And having the physique in 2014 when I started was enough to attract online fitness clients. In 2021, like that's no longer enough. Like there are more than enough people that have realized that there's a massive opportunity to go online with their coaching business. And so because there's more and more online coaches that are on the market, you need to be posting different types of content in order to attract clients. Now, I feel like you guys might understand that, but I want to give you guys a baseline of the 3 different content types that you need to be posting. And then I'm going to give you guys a specific call to action of exactly what to post today. So I stumbled across the 3 different content types by accident, but as a marketing baseline, this isn't me. This has been around for a long time. In order for people to purchase off of you, they need to know you, they need to like you, and they need to trust you, right? I think we've all heard that before. In order for somebody to purchase, they need to know us, they need to like us, they need to trust us. And so for people to know us, there's a type of content that I've designed that I like to put out, and I call it connection-based content. Now, connection-based content is a piece of content that you put out that creates emotional resonance with your audience. It's sharing something about yourself that might be personal, sharing something vulnerable, sharing something that you've gone through, or a triumph, or something that you're proud of. But a connection-based piece of content is a piece of content that you put out that allows people to get to know you as a person. And so now let's talk. So know you, like you, and trust you. Now people like people that give them value. And so I know everybody here is a big fan of Gary Vaynerchuk. I know for me personally, he's one of my biggest idols. And Gary Vee frequently talks about putting out value. And that's what a lot of people do, is they put out value-based content, right? Where they're putting out, like, if you're an online fitness coach, what that's going to look like is like my 3 fat loss tips, or my 3 fat loss secrets, or how to grow a bigger booty, or how to tone up your waistline, or whatever it is. Like my favorite exercise is to grow your glutes. Like a lot of online trainers are very good at value-based content, and we put it out consistently. However, the piece of content that leads to the most amount of clients, and the type of content that leads to the most amount of client, is trust. And in order for people to work with you, they need to know you, they need to like you, and they need to trust you. And in order for somebody to trust you, they need to see evidence. In order for somebody to trust you, they need to see evidence. They need to see social proof. They need to see like a tangible result that you've been able to create with the level of knowledge that you currently have. They need to see proof, because value in itself is cool. And people love like reading stories of like how to grow their coaching business. Like that's cool. But proof itself, like actual evidence that you know what you're talking about, is what causes people to purchase. That's what causes people to actually say like, yes, I'm like ready to buy. Okay. Now without social proof, which I think that a lot of people are posting, a lot of online fitness coaches are posting content, but not consistently posting social proof. But without posting social proof, like none of the other pieces of content matter. In fact, if you only posted social proof on your social media and you only posted testimonials, you would have a very successful business. A couple of my clients come to mind when I say that. One of them, his name is Maverick Willett. Maverick Willett's been able to stay over $20,000 a month since we started in 2019. And another one of my clients, his name's Don Lamb. Literally all he does is he posts social proof, and all of his clients come because he's posting all of his client results. And so for somebody to pay you money over the internet, the amount of trust that they have to have that you have the solution needs to be extremely high. Trust is the key. Trust is the key. Okay, so now let's cut the fluff, because I want to give you guys an incredible amount of value. And so here's how to land your next online client. Guys, step by step, I'm gonna give it to you. Write it down. This is how you land your next online client. Number one, go find a photo of you a few years ago before you started exercising. That's step number one. Go into your archives, even if you've already done this before, even if you're in the academy. Step number one, go find a photo of you a few years ago before you started exercising. Don't ask me why, just do it. Find a photo before you started exercising. You could even grab, like, guys, and some of you guys have been working out since you were like 17, 16, whatever. Find a photo of you when you were 15. So find a photo of you before you started exercising. For some of you guys, that might be literally 2 years ago. For some of you guys, that might be 5 years ago. Find a photo of you before you started exercising. It could be 5 years ago. It could be 7 months ago. It could be 15 years ago. Go grab a before photo of you before you started exercising and save that into your camera roll. So take a screenshot of it. It's on the internet. That's step number one. Step number two, go find a photo of you at your very physical best. Now, maybe that's you on stage. Maybe that's you last summer. Maybe it's you right now. Maybe you're currently in the best shape of your life, right? Maybe you have to go digging through the archives because, you know, whatever, you had a few donuts in the last quarantine 15, whatever it is, but find a photo of you at your physical best and save it to your camera roll, right? All right. So a photo of you before you started exercising, now a photo of you at your physical best, and save it to your camera roll. All right. Now, step number three is to use a layout or any other app on your phone where you can put photos side by side. And another thing that I'm going to say that I see online that annoys the hell out of me, so please don't do this, is put the before photo on the left and the after photo on the right, because when you read a book, you read left to right. Does that make sense? A lot of people will put their before photo on the right and their after photo on the left. And it's like, that's not how we read books. Like, you read a book from left to right. So the before goes on the left and the after goes on the right. Does that make sense? So like, put up your hands, and where there's an L, put the before photo, and where there's a backwards L, put up, okay. Anyways, before, left, after, right. We're going to use this post today, and we're going to write a connection/proof style post. And this post is going to be about how fitness changed your life. This post is, so it's going to be a connection-based post because you're going to create an emotional connection with your audience, right? You're going to talk about something personal. And it's also going to be a social proof post because you're showing actual evidence that you know what you're talking about. Look, this is how I went from this to this. That's proof. That's evidence. And evidence is what sells people. This post is going to show evidence that you know what you're talking about because it's actual proof that you've gone through a fitness journey. All right. So step number three is use an app like Layout to put the photos side by side. Step number four. You guys with me so far? We all Gucci? If you're with me, just like give me a silent head nod or just like let me know. Step number four is you're going to write a list of pains, meaning what were you struggling with in the before photo? So I want you to like look at the before photo and I want you to write a list of pains, things that you were struggling with in the before photo. So, and some examples, you guys, would be like lack of confidence, hated what I saw in the mirror, was eating donuts every night. Maybe that you actually were. Maybe you were struggling with binge eating. Maybe you didn't eat enough. You never ate enough food. Maybe you never drank enough water. Maybe you always had headaches. Maybe you were chronically tired. Maybe you were drinking alcohol 5 times a week. Maybe you were smoking cigarettes regularly, whatever it was. But write a list of bullet points of all the pain that you were in before you started your fitness journey. Now, the reason that this is so important, online fitness coaches, and I want to sit here for a minute. The reason that this is so important is because the reason that a lot of online coaches fail at creating content that pulls clients is because you're not writing any pains. But you guys, like, a lot of online fitness coaches will write value-based content like, here are 3 tips to grow your booty. But like, what you guys are not understanding is that most of your audience, the people that are going to pay you to work with them, are currently in pain. Like, they're currently they're struggling with confidence. They're currently struggling to look at themselves in the mirror. They're currently overeating. They're currently not drinking enough water. They're currently, like, those are the type of people that are going to pay you money to solve that problem. And so when you're writing your content, if you're not writing to their pain points, or you're not talking about some of your pain points, then you're not going to connect with them emotionally. And that's why a lot of online fitness coaches are struggling to grow their business, is because they're just putting out value-based content without creating an emotional connection. Okay, so write a list of bullet point pains that you were going through, because the pains that you were going through are going to create an emotional connection with people that are in your audience. All right. Now, step number 5. Now we're going to look at that after photo, and we're going to write a list of how good it feels to be in shape. Meaning, what are the benefits of being in the after photo, right? What are the benefits? You want to start it with bullet points. So again, you're just making bullet points. Now, some examples, maybe you're looking at your after photo and you're like, looking juicy, whatever. Maybe you're looking at your after photo and you're like, I'm more confident than I've ever been in my life. I love the way that I look and I love the way that I feel. I have a healthy and balanced relationship with food. I cut out alcohol and cigarettes and feel amazing. And I have an amazing sex life. Maybe that's like the benefits of being in the best shape of your life. So write a list of all of the benefits of being in the best shape of your life, like a bullet point form list. Okay. So now we've got a before and after of you side by side. We've got a list of bullet point pains, the things that you were struggling with before you started your fitness journey, a list of bullet point benefits of like what it's like to be in shape. Now, step number 6 is you're going to write a story of how you went from all that pain to all that benefits, and you're going to use the bullet points that you created. Step number 6 is you're going to write a story from how you went from all that pain to all that benefits, and you're going to use the list of bullet points that you've created. You guys want to think about this like a hero's journey, right? The superhero, like any superhero movie that you guys watch, whether they be like Batman, Superman, whatever. I personally love superhero movies. It always starts with like the regular life, right? We're talking about like the regular superhuman or the regular person, the average Joe emerges and he becomes a superhero. That's how you want to write your post, right? So you want to write your post like, you can even start out with like 5 years ago, I was 50 pounds overweight and I hated the person that I saw in the mirror. And then you want to write about what it felt like to be that person. And honestly, every single day I got out of bed, it was a struggle. I was never happy to get out of bed. Every time I looked at I would always wear clothes that I didn't feel comfortable in. I've always felt like I wasn't good enough. I struggled with confidence, and every social situation I was in, I was always quiet because I didn't feel like I could speak up. Whatever your truth is, write your truth, right? And then write about how it felt. Write about how that felt. So you're going to write a story about how it felt to be in the before photo. And then you're going to write in the middle of the story, like once you're done writing that like portion of the story, the next part of the post is going to be the turning point. So, and then one day I stepped in the scale and I started to make a change. And the turning point doesn't have to be this like long drawn out thing. It's going to be, you're going to write about the pain, and then there's going to be like a small turning point, whether that be maybe you looked at yourself in a photo and you're like, I need to change. Or maybe for me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. For me, it's like when I went through a breakup and I was like 30 pounds overweight, I was like, okay, I'm going to make sure she misses me. So like, that was my truth. I'm not even lying. So that's what it was for me. So I'd write about that. And then I would talk about the changes that I started to make. I started to go to the gym. I started to do these things. I started to count my calories, et cetera, et cetera. And then write about how good it feels to be in shape right now. Write about all the positive benefits of being in shape right now. Write about how confident you feel right now. Write about how like amazing it feels to be in the best shape of your life right now. See, what you're going to do with a post like that is you're going to take somebody who is currently in some of the pain that you described, whether that be maybe it was like overweight, or maybe you were binge eating, or maybe you were doing all these different things. Somebody's going to read that post and they're going to go, oh shit, like I'm currently 30 pounds overweight. And then when they read the post of you like going through this journey and emerging like more confident, more strong, in the best shape of your life, that's going to give them hope that they can do it too. And if somebody has hope that they can do it too because of a post that you wrote, that's enough to cause them to reach out and ask for help. Does that make sense? You guys following along? Cool. So step number 7 is to post it. Post it. And I'd recommend posting it on at least 2 platforms, Facebook and Instagram. If you want to go to that next level, that's something for some of you guys, you might not be there yet. That's cool. Facebook and Instagram for sure. I would also recommend Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. That's what I do. But step number 7 is to post it on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Post. This is how fitness changed my, and you don't have to call it, this is how fitness changed my life, but like that's the general framework of the post. Okay. I'm going to give you some more. You guys want some bonus tips? And we want some, I want you guys to land your next online clients. You guys ready for some bonus tips? If you guys are ready for some bonus tips, like find a way to let me know. Maybe you're just like nodding and you're like, yeah, give me the bonus. Okay. Bonus tip. What you want to do. Step number 8 is go to your Instagram stories. And I want you to upload the before photo first, and upload the before photo on your Instagram story. And I want you to say, I'm going to show you how I went from this ... So literally upload the before photo with writing on the story that says, I'm going to show you how I went from this ... That's what it says on the photo. Upload it to your Instagram stories and then post it. And then step number 9 is to this, and then post your after photo. Say ... to this, and then post your after photo. I'm going to show you how I went from this is the first one to this is the second one. And then go on your Instagram story, and I want you to talk about the pains that you were in using the bullet points that you written down. All right, guys. So the before photo, the one that I just showed you guys, was a few years ago. And when I was in that situation, I was like 50 pounds overweight. I wasn't really happy with what I was eating. I couldn't really stop myself from eating. I was drinking a lot of alcohol, smoking a lot of cigarettes, and I was just at a really low place in my life. Around 2015, I decided that I wanted to start working out. I decided I wanted to make a change. So I started exercising. I started going to the gym. I started eating healthy. And as a result, I started to see some changes. Like I started dropping weight. I started to feel more confident. I started to feel better in my own skin. And I just wanted to show you guys like what's possible when you commit to a fitness journey. So upload that as a video in your story. Then at the end of that video series, I want you to upload the side-by-side photo to your Instagram stories now, because you uploaded just the before photo, then just the after. Now upload the side-by-side and say, if you're ready to get with writing on the photo on your Instagram story, and say, if you're ready to get results like this, DM me, I'm ready, and I'll send you more info. And do that today. And then post that on your Facebook story and your Instagram story. And if you're on LinkedIn, I post on your LinkedIn story too. And that's it. Step number 12 is to wait. I guarantee you, I 100% guarantee that there's going to be one of you guys that does this, and you're going to get the result. And then you're going to DM me and you're going to be like, yo, B-Mark, it worked. Because when I wrote this podcast, I'm like, I'm writing this podcast and I know that one person is going to do this and actually get their next client. So I guarantee you that one of you guys is going to do this and one of you guys is going to sign your next client. And that would be super cool for me. So that's all I'm looking for. So replay this podcast, you guys, if you need to, pause it and do it step by step if you need to. But I'm telling you, online fitness coach, that social proof sells. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I don't usually do step by step in the podcast. That's usually reserved for the 10K Coaching Academy. But I felt like today I wanted to give a little bit of extra value because, this is my first time on Clubhouse. So I want to make sure that I come in hot. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Change Lives, Make Money Online Training Podcast, the #1 show for online fitness coaches who are trying to grow a successful online business. If you got value from today's episode, I want you to go to the podcast app. There's literally Change Lives, Make Money Online Training Podcast. If you scroll all the way to the bottom of the episodes, you have to go to the first episode, leave me a star rating and a written review, and I'll give you a shout out on the podcast. And last thing is, if you guys want to be entered to win $1,000 cash, screenshot this podcast, share it to your stories, tag me at BMarkFit, and let me know that you're tuning in. Peace, love. Talk to you guys in the next episode. Let's go.